So in less than 2 weeks, we'll be holding by Yontif Pesach. It might sound strange, but it's Ki'ilu we're having the chasana without the chosin there. Why? Because unless Baruch Shalom Be'ez Hashem will bring the Gula Shleima in the next 2 weeks, we're going to sit down to a... We're going to sit down to a Seder without the Korban Pesach. So unfortunately, we become so accustomed to sitting down to Seder without Korban Pesach, none of us knows what it is. There are Bubbies and Zaydas going all the way back, that we think it's a normal Seder without it. That's how we live it. We have matzah, we have murr, we have all the mitzvahs, magid, halil, no Korban Pesach. And yet, without the Korban Pesach, we're missing the ikr. I mean, it's pashut. Chag Pesach is Korban Pesach. And you see that in the Chumash, you see there's really two Yom Tovim. There's a Chag Matzos, which begins on Tes Vav, goes through Chav Beis, and we have a Chag Pesach, which is Yudal. There's Man Shchitas Pesach. Person doesn't need matzah, he's mevatel an essay. Rachman Tzlan, if he doesn't need a Korban Pesach and he's chayiv kares. There's no other mitzvah in the Torah where we have a tashlumin built into the Torah. We have a whole parsha Baloscha, Pesach Sheni. The people who miss the Korban Pesach. It's mamish the ikr shebeikrim. So in order to appreciate what we're missing, maybe we'll pine for it more. But beyond that, to understand that there are limudim that we have in Korban Pesach that we're not experiencing right now, Be'ez Hashem will find another way to find these limudim, and in that way make our Pesach differently. There's a Rashi in Parashas Bo. The pasuk says by the Korban Pesach that v'hoy lachem lemishmeres hararba asar yom. You need a mishmeres. You need the yom yemei bikur from the 10th until the 14th. V'shochta also kol kasdes b'nei Yisrael, kol das Yisrael ben arboim. Then you shech the Pesach. So Rashi brings the kash over here that this mishmeres is a bikur. It's a time to check out if there chas v'shalom be a mum in the Pesach. So why is in advance 4 days of the bikur before the shechita, which is not l'doros? Ben Choresh Omar. That the time for the Gula came. The time that the Rebbeinu Shalom was going to fulfill the promise he made to Avraham Avinu to bring a Gula to his children. They didn't have mitzvahs to be Isaac in them. Kadesh go. Time for the Gula, no mitzvah to be Isaac in them. What are they going to do? So the Rebbeinu Shalom gave him 2 mitzvahs. He gave him mitzvahs Mila, mitzvahs Pesach. Gave him 2 mitzvahs. Freg the Kli Yoker. I understand. Halom Chazal. Chazal say the Measure says in V'yikar Rabbah, B'schus arba dvarim nigul avosin in Mitzrayim. There are 4 schusim the Klal Yisrael had to be nigul. Shloshin Shmam. They didn't change their names, the Shonim, but their language. V'haya nigror gedurim in Arayis. They were careful not to be over Arayis. Chas v'shalom v'lohaya b'yorim di'uturim. They didn't have people speaking Lashon Hara. What's up, shot? They could have a gula anyway. What's up, shot? They have to be oisig and mitzvahs in order to get the gula. They're going to be in gula anyway. But more than that, the Gemara says in Brachas and Daf Tes, the Baruch Shalom came to Moshe Rabbeinu by the Rechush Gadol, to set them up for the Rechush Gadol. Dabra no ba'azneham. Baruch Shalom said no. He said, please speak into the ears of the nation. What's no? Ein no eloshe bakosha. Baruch Shalom is asking Moshe, he's not telling him, he's not mitzvah him. He's asking him. I'm asking from you. I'm asking you that you should ask them. It's all very nice. Go borrow the clay kesef of the silver and the golden vessels. Why? Shlo Yomar also tzaddik. That tzaddik, who's that tzaddik? Avraham Avinu. He shouldn't say, I've kept that part of the Bris Bein Besorim. They've enslaved them and I've made them suffer. But that part, they go out Rechush Gadol, I didn't keep that part. So in order to keep the promise to Avraham Avinu, go set him up for the Rechush Gadol, so I can say I kept all the promises to Avraham Avinu. So what's the please? So Amrulo, they're going to say to him, We want to go out just by ourselves. We don't care about the Chush Gadol, says Klal Yisrael. Mashal la'adam sh'chaya chavish b'beis Yisurim. Person who's locked up in jail. V'haya omrim lo b'nei adam motziin osen l'machar. B'beis Yisurim v'nosen l'machar harbe. I'll let you out tomorrow, and I'm going to give you a great wealth to walk out with. He says, no, I want to go out right now. And that's why you have to ask them, please. Because if you ask Klal Yisrael what they want to do, they'd rather come out right now without the Chush Gadol. But in order to kaim the Shvut Avraham Avinu, who's the Chush Gadol? So let me ask you a question of Kasha. Chazal say they have to be Isaac and mitzvahs to get the Gula. The Gemara says that Kodesh Baruch had to come to Moshe Rabbeinu and say, please have Klal Yisrael go ahead and borrow from the mitzvahs so you will Chush Gadol. Because if not, I'm going to keep the promise to Avraham Avinu. Well, you don't keep the promise of Chush Gadol. What about the promise of going out altogether? Why is it totally Ami Isaac mitzvahs? They're going out anyway. They have to go out, or else he didn't keep the whole promise. The whole promise is gone. Not the Chush Gadol, which is a prat. The promise itself doesn't exist. So how's it shaykh that they're not going to go out? How's it shaykh that they need to be Isaac mitzvahs in order to go out of Mitzrayim? Heavy Omer. That the pshat, what Chazal mean, that they have to be Isaac mitzvahs, is not to go out. They're going out. They're going out. It doesn't matter what they do. They're not Isaac mitzvahs. They sleep through it. They'll get a ride. It doesn't matter. They're going out of Mitzrayim. So why to be Isaac mitzvahs? Because the moment of Yetzias Mitzrayim was a very special moment. Aside from the fact that they had a gula, it wasn't just the Jewish emancipation proclamation that they went out of slavery. There was something very important going on over here. There was the creation of Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael was being created in that moment. They had Mesorah from the Avos. They're from the Avos. But as a Klal Yisrael, as a nation, this is the latest Am. Shimshon Pinchas Azal talks about that's why we have to go ahead and make our houses chametz free to the nth degree, because it's like being in a room where a woman's giving birth. Everything has to be tar, everything has to be clean, because this is the first moment of the Am. This is latest Am. This is the birth of Klal Yisrael. Now, Klal Yisrael in that birth has two features to it, so to speak. There's an essential feature of Klal Yisrael, what they are in their being, and they have another feature, which is how they live their life. We'll call it existential, their existential being. Their essential being and existential being. The Gemara says that there are two mitzvahs, essay, where a person, Rachmana litzlan, is chayiv kares. Those two mitzvahs are Milah and Pesach. What's the pshat? Kares is reserved for los haseh. A person does a certain lab, whatever it is, he eats chaylev, he bolanida, he eats karbonis in the wrong place, etc. There's certain places where a person is chayiv kares. It's an einish. What's the pshat? There are two mitzvahs, Milah and Pesach, that they're for an essay. He didn't do anything wrong. How do you call that a punishment? The kares he gets for Milah and Pesach, how do you call it a punishment? They weren't over an avera. They were Mekayim. Heavy Omer, the pshat in the kares by Milah and Pesach is not aus einish, it's the mitzias. When a person chooses Rachmana litzlan not to have a Milah, not to be Korban Pesach, he is taking himself out of Klal Yisrael. He's excising himself. He's not part of Klal Yisrael anymore. Meaning what? Meaning these are the two mitzvahs which are creating the Am. The Milah is the mitzvah which makes me essentially a Jew. It's a Milah begufi. It's mamish who I am. The Korban Pesach is the rejection of Mitzrayim. It's a rejection of Avodah Zarah. It's the existential mitzvah. These two mitzvahs together make us into Klal Yisrael. And therefore, at that moment of the Yetziah, they had to be Isaac mitzvahs. Which mitzvahs? Not any two mitzvahs. They couldn't say, well, I'll do Shluch HaKan, and I'll put on tzitzis, right? No. They have to do these two mitzvahs. Milah, Korban Pesach. Why? Because since a person, if he wouldn't do this mitzvah, he's not part of the Am, that's Megala, that when he does these two mitzvahs, he makes himself part of the Am. He has to be Isaac in the Am. He has to be Isaac becoming part of the Am right now. So by doing Milah and Pesach, he's becoming part of Klal Yisrael. But it goes deeper than that. Because you see that these two mitzvahs were not just mitzvahs to be done at this moment, they were mitzvahs b'siras nefesh. At the moment they're leaving Mitzrayim, it's b'siras nefesh. Why? They had a Milah that night. Well, you talk to any moyel, ask him, baby b'shleim, can't walk anyway. But if you know a moyel who does gerim, and a moyel who in Baltimore used to do Russians, right? They don't get up 2 hours later and start walking around. It's major surgery. So here Klal Yisrael went through major surgery, and now they're going to walk out of Mitzrayim in the morning. What's up, Shah? Mamish Mesiras Nefesh. Don't think about it. That was that Mesiras Nefesh. What the Mesiras Nefesh Korban Pesach? Think about it. The day they took the Seder on Yud, they tied up to the bedposts. I guarantee you that these Shepselach, they were not quiet. They're yelping, they're screaming. Not one of them, not two of them, not three of them, hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of them are screaming. And the Mitzrim are hearing them. And that's their God. That's what they believed in. And their God screaming, and Klal Yisrael's got them locked up and chained to the bed? That's not nothing. What happened after that? Then you have Shechita. They're taking the God, they're shechting it? They're shechting my God? The Mitzrim are not ready to make a pogrom? Are they insane? But not only that, you have to roast it. Roast it. Smell the barbecue? Shmek a barbecue very far away. Hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of these animals being roasted. Mamish, you smell it in their mouth. And then you're going to eat it. The whole mitzvah mitchila v'ad soif is Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh. The whole Korban Pesach is Mesiras Nefesh. So at the moment of Yitzhak, they have the oisik in Mesiras Nefesh to do these mitzvahs, dafka these mitzvahs, to make themselves to an am. Now, Pashas Mesiras Nefesh we know, lefum sar agra. Person, as much as he puts into a mitzvah, as more as Mesiras Nefesh, more schar he gets. But there's something bedafka over here. There's something bedafka has to be Mesiras Nefesh. What is that? So in the Sfarim it says that why is it dafka the tleh? Why is it dafka the seh? Why is this the animal? So as we know, that was the Avodah Zarah. That was the god of the Egyptians. But it happens to be that tleh, that's in the zodiac, so to speak, in the mazolos, that's the mazel in Nisan. That's the mazel. Says the Ramban that you might think that mazel has something to do with the Yetzias Mitzrayim. Therefore, Kadosh Baruch Hu told him to shecht it. They should have nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with the mazel. Not just it was their God. It's nothing in the mazolos itself, but it's even deeper than that. Because, as Reb Simcha Chaim brings, in the mazolos means, he says, Lashon Nazul means it flows down. There's a shefa that flows down from Shemayim into the earth. So if you have this mazel of tleh, that tleh has some shlita, has some control of what's going on right now. Klal Yisrael by shechting, and what are they saying? They're shechting the fact that they can be taxed mazolos. Like the Gemara says, Ein mazel Yisrael. Ein mazel Yisrael doesn't just mean that Klal Yisrael is not under the mazel. It means when Klal Yisrael comes into the picture, there is no mazel anymore. Because Klal Yisrael, through their maisim, are determining what happens in the world. We are kovei what happens in the world. It's not the mazolos anymore. So this was essentially the moment where Klal Yisrael ended the mazolis that they should have control over the world, and now Klal Yisrael took over. That was the shechting of the mazel. It wasn't just the shechting of the seh. It wasn't just destroying the Avodah Zarah. It was that Klal Yisrael was entering in the world now, and it was the world where they were going to be koveya. So in this Mesiras Nefesh for the Korban Pesach, what do we find? We find that Klal Yisrael is coming to a point where they realize, understand, and live the fact that they're in control now. It's not the seh anymore. It's not the tleh anymore. It's not Mesiras Nefesh to make them to an am. And as the Maharal says, this understanding of what the Korban Pesach is all about, he says, you see what he sees in the halachas of Korban Pesach. You see, for example, it can't be eaten in two chaburas. Why? Because he says the whole vort in the Korban Pesach is the recognition that Kadosh Baruch Hu is in total control. He's a chod. There's not shnei devarim. There's not two different deities, so to speak. He's a chod. So therefore, maybe we can't split into chaburas. It has to be one chabura. He says, al matzahs mar yochluhu. What's the pshat matzah mar yochluhu? Zog there like this. Matzahs are keneged Yeshua. Marors keneged the shibur. You might think, as the Goyim think, as many of them think, well, the bad things come from one place and the good things come from another place. It's not true. Everything comes from the same place. So Mameli, we eat the Korban Pesach, which is now the destruction of anything. There's any other koyach in the world except the Rebbeinu Shalom. We eat a dafki at the same moment with the Shibud and with the Yeshua. All together. Because it's all one. So if we can go ahead, as Klal Yisrael did that year, and the Mesiras Nefesh, and we can go ahead to the degree possible to be mashish inside of us, these dargas of Amunah, from the Korban Pesach. There's dafka from the Korban Pesach. Bez Hashem is Borach. The Seder, whether it's here, whether it's Eretz Yisrael, Bez Hashem with Yeshua. But that's what Bon Shem wants. He wants that this is the moment where we're going to come to eliminate the hashpah from this world. And Bez Hashem come into the world of Ribbon Shalom.